Good afternoon, everyone, and it's a great pleasure to be talking to you over the last few days of the year 2021, and aren't we glad that this year is just going by. This year has shown us things that we never expected to see. This year has given us the introspection time. This year has given us a lot of time to analyze and think through that what is it that we all are looking at doing right now. So with that as a background, and with the background that there is this uncertainty of the third wave or fourth wave or fifth or whatever wave that you could call that lurking around, I would really very sincerely request each one of you who are on this call to please stay safe, please take care of your families, and please take care of all the COVID precautions that need to be taken. Get vaccinated and make sure that your families and friends are vaccinated. Very, very important to do that. This would have been an in-person event had not this been something that we would have stumbled upon as COVID or whatever pandemic, endemic, whatever we might want to give the names as. The positive side to that of all the story that I just mentioned is that has affected our businesses in a big way. It has affected our businesses in terms of that it has started the acceleration of our businesses into direction, which all of us at some point in time were looking at from the business standpoint on a drawing board in a boardroom. All that has started to accelerate just because of what happened in reality, in the real life, in year 2021. Starting in year 2020 March to year 2021 completely, has really given us that acceleration, and that one buzzword, which was still in the project phase, which was still in the phase of the boardroom discussions, which is called as digital transformation, was still there. But now, digital transformation is something which has become a reality today. Digital transformation is something that everybody is looking at doing. And digital transformation, mind you, that it is something which is not a project any longer. A business transformation is being led through digital transformation. I have panelists today who are going to be with us, who are going to be talking about who have witnessed and who are champions of this digital transformation. Somebody who advises on the digital transformation, somebody who is implementing digital transformation, and somebody's business is because of digital transformation that has happened. Now, if you look at the digital transformation journey, all of you as part of the audience would be at different stages of your journey. What is it that we are looking at when we are talking about digital transformation? But basically, we are talking about making sure that your business is digital ready for tomorrow. Basically, looking at accelerating your digital innovation. But where does that all begin? All that begins by modernizing your current digital infrastructure that we are working on. It all begins using the technologies like the AI and ML, what Dr. Sahu mentioned in the right up front in the beginning of the introduction, where he mentioned that how do you use the AI and ML for the automation and for making sure that there is that resilience which is built in your data centers. There's predictability in your data center. How are you using that? How are you automating? How are you optimizing that? So that's step number one when you're looking at modernizing, when you're looking at getting into the digital arena. That's modernizing your digital infrastructure. We move ahead from that and we get into an area where we become a data-driven organization. When we say that we become a data-driven organization, what it means is that we are able to monetize the data that we have. We are able to transform the data the way it is stored. We are able to adhere to the government policies, and I'm sure that some of you were privy to the discussion that was happening before we started the conference, when Dr. Kalamkar was talking about being compliant to the data localization compliances which are there right now. And they are not only that kind of compliances, there are many compliances that you need to be complied with as far as today's concern. Is your infrastructure ready to get you into the position where you become a data-driven organization? You got all that in play, and how do you scale your digital transformation journey and innovation into something bigger? Is what the complete journey of driving value from edge to core to multi-cloud today is. I'm sure most of you on this call would agree with me that each one of us are in different stages of this journey when we are taking this journey right now. Now, what does Hitachi Vantara do when we talk about Hitachi Vantara here? Hitachi Vantara, now, while this session is largely about storage that we are going to be talking about, and we are going to be focusing on storage, but this one slide and the slide next is the slide that I'm just going to be focusing on, wherein I will just let you know that what does Hitachi Vantara stand for. Hitachi Vantara is in the business of taking you through or accelerating your digital transformation journey. How do we do that? We do that by listening, by accelerating, by empowering, and by modernizing. And what do? We listen to your business needs through our consulting and the advisory services that we have. We have a sales play, which is a proven sales play from the perspective of the project that we take up when we look at doing that in terms of looking at the digital transformation at scale. And then we have a platform called Lumada. This slide, I can actually just spend all of my 30 minutes on this slide, but looking at the time that we have, we'll just use the slide from that perspective only. Now, when I talk about Lumada, Lumada is a platform. Lumada is a platform which is there to ingest the data which is either coming from edge, getting the data on from the edge, and then taking the data and making sure that that data is something which is curated and put forward in a way which helps us take those decisions which are business-driven decisions. So what that means is that Lumada as a platform is coupled with our solutions like Pinterho. Lumada as a platform is coupled with our solutions like Smart City and Smart Spaces, and all those solutions are integrated as under the Lumada platform. Then comes the modernization of your infrastructure and the application and stuff that we spoke about, which is at the core of all that journey that you're going to be taking. Now, when we talk about modernizing all that journey, we are basically talking about modernizing the infrastructure from the perspective of the storage, from the perspective of applications. Today's time, everybody is in a multi-cloud mode. Everybody is talking about either moving their data to the cloud or moving their applications to the cloud, and looking at that, how do we do that multi-cloud journey? That's where Hitachi Vantara steps in. Hitachi Vantara has a company by the name of Hitachi Consulting. Hitachi Consulting is part of Hitachi Vantara today. So that is the organization that gets into and helps you take that journey into the cloud, multi-cloud, or whatever services that you're looking at in terms of virtualizing or in terms of modernizing your applications to get into that space. To top it all the infrastructure management is something which is getting into a space which is very, very clearly driven by the AI and ML space, and use of the AI and ML is something which is very critical in everything that we are doing from the perspective of our infrastructure management. Now, while I say that, this is the complete portfolio that Hitachi has from the infrastructure perspective. We're going to be only focusing on the virtual storage platform today, and some bit on the AI ops, which is basically our ops center, which manages the storage. That's what we're going to be focusing on. But Hitachi is also in the business of doing all that, which is from the perspective of compute, offering the compute services, whether it be in conjunction with as a convert solution with the Cisco, or it be the standard rack scale servers that we offer, or the hyper-converged or the converged infrastructure that we offer. We have an offering which is as a service offering. So as a service offering, currently is an offering which is typically bound by our offering called Everflex, which is the consumption model that we have, which we take to our customers and through our partners. So that's another offering that we have, and we will be announcing a lot of good stuff on this starting the new year, which is we start our new year 1st April. So starting the new year, you will hear a lot of good stuff from Hitachi Vantara in that space too. So this is what we offer. We are switching gears quickly into the storage offering that we have. Now, we categorize our storage offerings largely into the area of high-end and mid-range. That's how we categorize our storage offerings. We play in all the areas, and what is it that we play in? So this is, I'm not going to be going through that. What is it that we have in terms of the models and things like that? It is just to give you a snapshot of that. We have everything that is required from the storage perspective in the industry. And this is the new breed of storages that we announced, which is the NVMe and the hybrid mid-range family. Just to let you know that this is one of those unique platforms that we have announced, wherein you will be able to mix and match the two media types, which is you could do an NVMe and a SAS backend together in this series of storage which is there. So that's something which is very unique from the perspective of what others are doing right now in the market. And this is our enterprise range storage that we have. This enterprise range storage is kind of classical from the perspective that Dr. Kalamkar is not a customer today, but I'm sure that when you are talking to the banks, 80% of your traffic passes through one of these storages right now. So that's the kind of proliferation and the acceptance and the belief and trust that we have from the largest of the banking industry players in the right currently from the storage standpoint. So this is the storage portfolio that we do. Just to give you 3 points in terms of that, what is it that we are possibly unique at, and we guarantee more value. When we talk about modern storage, we need to look at that. What is it? Because everybody has a hard disk, everybody has a controller, everybody does everything which is run of the mill. But where do we see that we add value when we are talking to the businesses like yours? And how is it that we are improving your businesses and making sure that you are getting the value of buying the storage which is there, and what you should be looking at when you're buying the storage? Definitely guaranteed return on investment from the data reduction perspective, which is an ADR which gets enabled on our NVMe platform, and we give a sight unseen kind of a guarantee. Yes, there are things that we need to take care of in terms of the standard operating procedures. So that would be there. That's the 4:1 efficiency that we bring in. We possibly are the only one which is willing to get into a contract with you as a customer to give you 100% data availability guarantee. What that means is that we sign a 3 or 4 page contract with you, saying that if there is a data loss because of the Hitachi Vantara storage, you will get the credits, and at the end of the 3-year period of which you had the warranty for this storage, you will be able to use that credit either to replace the current storage that is there, or to get whatever you want from the perspective of the services or whatever that you're looking at from that standpoint. So 100% data availability guarantees that we sign on paper. We add the guaranteed flash assurance, which we currently have renamed as modern storage assurance. So I will take it up in the next slide, and we will talk about that in the next slide. So we offer the modern storage assurance right now. That's something which is an offering that we also have. And one of the key points that I think is very important to understand, Rizv, is the modernization of the storage and modernization of the infrastructure, is that all our storages, whether it is a mid-range, entry, or the enterprise storage, runs on a single storage virtualization operating system. None of the other storage vendors do this. It is unique because it helps you scale. It helps you make sure that your data is moving from one storage to the other without any disruption. So that's another thing which is there. Now, I'm just doing this slide from the question answer perspective, that these are the questions that everybody has in their mind when you are dealing with a growth in the storage, or when you're dealing with a platform of storage, wherein you're looking at that, what is it that I need to be doing when I'm making a commitment for tomorrow when I'm buying a storage today? How is it that we should be looking at doing that? So how do you make sure that you are lowering your cost, and how do you make sure that you are expanding and you can expand your existing storage? Number one, I told you that we are the ones who can offer you a mix and match of the drives within the same array, in the NVMe and the SAS. So that will help you lower your cost definitely. Addition of the storages is something which can definitely happen, and we know how to deploy and do the usage of the existing storage from the perspective of the way that it can be virtualized with the other storages. Management efficiencies, I just spoke about that. We deploy a lot of AI and ML stuff in terms of the management efficiency that we drive in. So that is the operational efficiency that we are looking at driving by getting into that management efficiency. This is what I was referring to when I was talking about how do I protect my investment in the storage systems. Now, this is when, what happens is that when you are looking at doing any stuff from the standpoint of modernization, we are not looking at creating silos here. What happens is that when you are looking at modernization, there are a lot of suggestions that come on board, wherein we are suggested to forklift whatever is there existing and replace it with something which is the latest and the greatest and the fastest which is available. What we basically are saying is that modernization is a step wherein you are modernizing your existing infrastructure step by step. What it means is that if you have an existing storage which is running out of space, which is running out of technology, which is not able to keep up to the performance and the speed that is required for your digital journey, what we could do is that we could virtualize that storage behind an Hitachi Vantara storage. That's the native virtualization that we speak about. And that's something which is available with any kind of storage that you buy from Hitachi Vantara. All that storage that I mentioned on the slides before is something which supports this native virtualization. And how are we and why are we able to do that? We are able to do that because of the single virtualization operating system that we have. We were the ones who pioneered virtualization, and we have been doing virtualization for 25 plus years now, as far as storage virtualization is concerned. So that's something which is a step from the modernization perspective. What is it that CIOs are also looking at? CIOs are also looking at that how critical capable the storage system is. What are your RAS capabilities? What are the RAS capabilities from the perspective of the solid state arrays or the hybrid storage arrays? If you see, Hitachi Vantara is rated the highest as far as the storage capabilities are concerned from the RAS perspective. Whether we talk about this thing, what really surprises me is that when people take decision only on the magic quadrant. I think this is another report that all of us should be encouraged to have a look at when you're taking a decision from the perspective of the storage. So because how critical your data is, you know that better, and how critical the storage that you're buying is something that you should be definitely aware about. Now, this is just a rebuild of that chart which is there, which is showing you that what is it that leads us to the capability of getting to the resiliency and the automation that we're talking about, and the RAS capability of a rating of 4.5 is that we are the ones which give you 100% data availability guarantee. We have the architecture resiliency. How? I will just tell you that. We are the one who give you a 3DC kind of an architecture, which is zero RPO, zero RTO kind of an architecture that we do. Self-healing data protection, and which is built in because of our op center, and that's the op center that I'm talking about, that takes care of a lot of functionalities from the storage management perspective. So that is where this gets built in, and that is what we work on, and that's what leads us to getting the RAS rating of 4.5 over and above everybody else who plays in the marketplace right now. This is something which is very, very interesting, and I just wanted to spend a few minutes on this. This is modern storage assurance. First, let me just put a caveat here that this is something which is available only from our enterprise range of storages. Keeping in mind that all of us are in that journey wherein we are growing our storage and we are looking at getting the next generation of architecture and next generation of the storages and everything. Are because of the changing nature of the technology and changing nature of the industry which is there, that change becomes very, very fast, and to adopt to that change becomes very, very difficult. We at Hitachi Vantara have a program which is called as the Hitachi Modern Storage Assurance Program. What we do in that program is that we will come to you as a customer, and we will talk to you, and we will tell you that here is a program which is there, which will protect you and which will give you the upgrade to the next generation controllers, because there is not too much change that happens as far as the media and the data type is concerned. The media and the data type remains almost the same. It is typically the op center, the operations, the management, the automation which is there, the perspective of the architecture that gets changed on the controller is what gets changed. So we offer you the next generation controller today as a modern storage assurance. That's what we are here, and that's the capability, and that's the trust that we have from the Hitachi Vantara platform perspective, that we are able to offer you that today. That's what I'm talking about when we talk about buying for tomorrow, buying today for the tomorrow's needs is what we support. That's the modern storage assurance, and as I told you that this is something which is the consumption-based models that we have. You could buy from Hitachi at in any point of in any way that you like. You could buy upfront, you could buy it on lease, or you could consume pay-per-use kind of elastic consumption. That's a service that we offer. So which all of us know that what is it, what that gives you. So this is basically your cloud-like consumption that we offer in the way that you would use any kind of cloud. You could build a private cloud for yourself and consume from there and pay Hitachi basis that. This is just a summary in terms of the business outcome that the driven features which are there. What are we looking at as a CIOs? We are looking at minimum risk of disruption to the business. How do you get that? You get that by 100% data availability directly. Let's pick up any other. We want to increase our operational efficiency. How do you get that? You get that by simplified and automated management with the Ops Center. We want a faster remediation and root cause analysis. You get that by automated AI methodology in our management software. Lowering acquisition cost, 4:1 data reduction is something which is there. Non-disruptive data migration leads to the non-stop business operations. Global cache across all storage models, which maximizes your application performance with the quality of service which is there. True active cluster, zero data loss. That's what are the business outcomes. So if you look at all that, when you're looking at digitizing your journey and you're looking to get your business into the digital space, none of these features are something which are extra or something which are fancy when you are looking at moving your business to the digital world. All of that is something that you require. Now, if you're able to take that with your storage, I think at least one portion of the business that is secured with you is that, yes, you can now trust your data to be in place, the data to be there, available to you whenever you need to do any kind of either monetization of the data or the use of the data to drive your business further and to scale your business further. That's something which is very, very clear. So all our features are driven from the perspective of what our businesses are asking us to do for tomorrow's growth that they're looking at in their digital journey. This is in nutshell that I just wanted to summarize and in my presentation with, that we are here to take care of your data growth for legacy and modern. We are here to give you flexible and predictable acquisition costs and AI-enabled operations for simplified and automated management.